I'm going to finish talking about the notebooks, like really, this is your life bag. So your life bag is going to have a few things in it. Your life bag has what I talked about last week, your planner. So it has your planner in it. It also has the other thing I talked about last week, which is your spiral notebook for the month. And then the other two things would be your booking notebook, like where you're calling from, and then your hostess notebook, like the people that you've already booked. So one you're booking from, one you're putting in once you book them. And I'm not going to fully explain this system because you got to watch the video to see it. It's just going to be so much easier. But the gist of it is once you get leads, which is what we're going to talk about tonight, they go in your notebook the day that you're going to call them. Typically, you make your list the night before because if you make a list tonight of people to call tomorrow, you are way more likely to actually call those people tomorrow. Where if you're like, oh, I need to remember to make my booking calls tomorrow, and then you don't actually have a list, then when you sit down to make your booking calls, you got to make the list and then you hopefully haven't run out of time by the time you're ready to call people, but a lot of times you're just like, I'll do it tomorrow. But that's not going to get you anywhere. So, your spiral notebook that is, or maybe it's what are those? Oh, composition book, a notebook with paper in it. This is only for booking. You cannot use it for anything else because the way that the system works is that you always go back 3 days to transfer the people that need to be followed up with. And if there's other stuff written in this notebook, it's just not going to work. And what this does is this stops people from falling through the cracks. Has anyone ever had leads fall through the cracks? Because I definitely have way more than I would like to admit. I've lost leads before. I have called them and then forgot to follow up, or I have been going through my phone before and I'll see like, oh my gosh, the last time I called this person was like 6 months ago and then I disappeared. Or I will see where I actually booked people and then I forget to coach them and I forget that I booked them and then I just don't show up. So this and this prevents that from happening. So if you want to book and hold more parties, you want to have a system to make that happen. So the spiral notebook, it can still be a cheap spiral notebook, but if you want it to be cuter, this one can be cuter. This is a Kate Spade notebook that I got as a star prize from Mary Kay. So you can get all kinds of fun star prizes when you order your star prize. You could get a notebook. But they have these notebooks at Five Below, and they're really good quality because I mean, I use it a lot because I'm calling people from it all the time. So the gist of it is that you call people on day one and then day three and then day seven, basically. So, or one, four, and seven. Sorry, one, four. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You are calling people every 3 days. So, or every 4 days, really. So, to start this system, you need leads. And whether it's your contact list or we're going to talk about all kinds of lead generating things tonight, but you need leads. You need people to call, and then you follow the system. So, I used to keep my leads in a Ziploc bag, and then I know I have a director friend who keeps hers in like a index card box. This by far is the best system that I've ever seen. So good that I've used it for probably, when was that? 2017, probably. Um, Somewhere in there. It's been a long time, and I have consistently used this system. I have not strayed from it. I have not tried anything else because it works. And then the 3 ring binder, this is where your hostesses go. So once they're booked, you put them in here so that you can coach them properly. So all of these papers and things, these are all in our Google Drive. I'm not going to go in super detail with this, but just know that you want a spiral notebook that's only for your calls and then a 3 ring binder that you can keep all of your bookings in so that you can coach them properly. And this is in order of the soonest one. When I open my notebook, this would be my next booking. And once they pass, I fold them. You know what? I explain all that in the video. So if y'all haven't watched the video, that's part of your homework. This is definitely a take notes kind of training tonight. So if you do not already have pen and paper, grab it because we're probably going to share a lot of things that you will want to write down. So I already gave you some homework that I can't even remember now. But your second piece of homework um is hold on, I hear background noise. I don't know if it's an echo or if is everybody muted? Let's see. Maybe it's just me. So your second piece of homework is if you haven't watched that video, and actually, no, I've been using it for longer than that because I did the video. The video was made in 2017. So I've been doing it for a long time. But if you haven't watched that video, that's part of your homework. And then now that we got that, does anyone have questions? I know I didn't super go into it, but if anybody's already using it or attempting to use it and you have questions, I can answer those right quick. Otherwise, we're moving on to lead generating. Who needs some leads? Who wants to hold more parties? Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So, your other piece of homework for tonight is tonight, everybody who's on, I want you to text me. Hold on, let me look at gallery view right quick. I'm going to go ahead and take a picture now before I forget. So, everybody say cheese. I love it. Let me make sure I got everyone. Kelly, I didn't get you. Do it again. All right. Say cheese. Okay. All right. So the other part of your homework so that you can know what to do as we're talking is you're going to pick 5 ways to get leads that you're going to run with. 5. 5. Now, one of them I've already chosen for you. But the other 4, you're going to go ahead and decide tonight what you are going to implement right away because Kristen Sharp, who is a national sales director in Georgia, is like someone that I really look up to. She is building her business through holding in-home parties. And her unit, even though she's a national, so she doesn't get recognized for this anymore, but even though she's a national, her unit still does at least $1 million in sales every year. So who would like to lead a team of women that's selling over $1 million every year? Okay, so I really have adopted a lot of what she does, and she says you should always, like always, not sometimes, not when you're lucky, not just like it literally always have 5 steady streams of leads coming into your business, coming into your lead notebook at all times. 5, okay? So sometimes we're like, I have one facial box out and I'm not getting results. Okay, well, that's why you're not holding enough parties because you don't have 5 sources, 5 streams. So we're going to talk about a lot tonight. We're going to talk about a lot of different streams of lead generating. And I have some fabulous ladies that are going to help me, and I'm so excited. So I am actually going to start because I'm talking about several different things and I don't want to just talk. I don't want to talk about them all together. So I'm going to talk about one and then I'm going to pass it on to whoever's next on my list, which just happens to be Scarlett. So, and I have Scarlett down for 2 things. I hope that's right because I got you down for 2 things. Don't worry, one of them's easy. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to talk about, and put your questions in the chat and I'll be happy. I'll be sure to answer, or I'll do my best to answer them. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about, just because I'm going down, this is in no particular order, is daycares. So daycares, back to Camila, that's actually how I met Camila. So daycares are probably, I always say like, oh, it's one of my favorites. I guess I have a lot of favorite ways to lead generate, but I really, really like daycares because we just meet so many people. And honestly, it breaks my heart to see people picking up tiny babies from daycare. And, if they want to be able to leave corporate America and be home with their kids so they don't have to go to daycare, that motivates me. But daycare, now, I will also tell you everything I do is strategic. So, pretty much everything I do is strategic. So, daycares, typically, if they can pick their kid up by 6 p.m., that means that you can probably book them for a night or weekend. So, a lot of people that have their kids in daycares, they probably work 9 to 5. So, that's one thing. But also, it's very rewarding, to be honest. So when you hear us talk about Mama's Appreciations, that's a daycare. And this was put on my heart way before COVID. And it was one of those things like, things that keep popping into your brain or smack you in the head because you're not listening. This was one of those things for me. I kept feeling like I should do daycares. Like it just was so persistent. And there's actually, I'm gonna be honest, there's something that I feel like I'm supposed to be doing right now that I have not done yet. And I've actually told several of you that I feel like I need to do it and I still haven't done it. And it actually has to do with lead generating. But daycares, I just could not get it out of my head. So finally, I went and set a couple up, and then guess what happened? COVID. So I did some before COVID, and then we clearly had to take a break from that. And what we do is we just go, I'm going to show you. I guess I'm still, Scarlett said I need to come home and take all the things, which I did not. But still like a little congested. So, I'm going to screen share right quick and show
Hard hit
you.
it.
Say what?
Hard hit it.
What are you talking about? Anyway, I have this homeopathic remedy for like congestion. Definitely, if I take it, it works instantly. I just don't have it right here with me. Okay, so this was one of the daycares. And if you see, like, you see my little table, it just has roses. So when we talk about roses, it's these wooden roses that we order by the case full. We absolutely love them. And then what you can't see on the table, I actually went live. I'm so sad that Facebook deleted all of the lives that I have ever made in my entire career out of the Sparkling Stars group because I did not save them all like I should have. But I actually went live for this one in the Sparkling Stars group, but it's gone. So we'll have to be sure that we start doing more lives, but on YouTube, not on Facebook. So what you don't see is like the little clipboards with the little sheets of paper, but basically all I do is go for pickup time, which we have since learned is best like 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. I used to go 4:30 to 6, but then I realized it took me this many years to realize a lot of people pick up at 3, 3:30, 4, so we missed a lot of mamas. But I just have a little table and I hand out chocolates and roses. And every mom that comes by, I'm just like, hey, I'm doing a mama's appreciation. So I have a treat for you. I have a chocolate and a rose. And then I assume that everybody's going to say yes. So write this in big letters. Never let the words do you want to or are you interested come out of your mouth ever in this business ever. Like we're not saying do you want to take a chocolate and a rose? No, like I'm literally as they're walking up I'm like hey I have a rose and I'll like pick up the whole vase and just like shove it in their face and then they'll be like oh thank you and so they pick a rose, They get a chocolate, and then I also put the little clipboard right in their hand that has the little entry slip on it that says free skincare session. And as I'm handing it to them, I'm not like, oh, and you get a free skincare session if you want. It's, I put it in their hand and I'm like, and you also get a free skincare session and gift card. This is really the best part. And they just write their name and number down. They all do it. Typically, I leave a daycare with about 50 or 60 leads from one daycare. So I love daycares. Now, disclaimer, if you live close to me, or if you live in South Carolina, I may have already done all the daycares in the area. So before you go talking to them, I just want you to check in to see if we've done it within the past year. Because what you say to them might be a little different if we've done it in the past. Instead of fully explaining it, we're able to walk in and say, hey, we've been working with you guys for a few years. We've done Mama's Appreciations here. I just came in to set one up because it's been a while. And that's it. Like, that's all you have to say. Otherwise, what I say is, and this is how you set them up, you go to the daycare physically, walk in, you look cute, your Mary Kay attire. Everybody know Mary Kay attire. We wear dresses or skirts. So you have your cute Mary Kay attire and you got your face on and you go in preferably before 9 a.m. because it is really hard to catch a director after 9. It just is. So around 9, 9-ish is fine, but the closer it gets to 10, 11, especially lunchtime. And actually, we did some of this today and it was later and it actually turned out well. That was the favor of God. But typically, the earlier you can go, the better. I mean, even like 7 a.m., they're there early. So you go in, you ask for the director. Normally, you see the director pretty quickly. They're like guarding the place. And you just smile, you shake their hand. That lets them know like this is a professional visit. And I just say, hey, my name is Wendy. I'm a local sales director with Mary Kay. And one of the things that I do is free Mama's Appreciations with childcare centers. I've partnered with a lot of them in the area, and then I will literally name them. I've worked with the La Petite down the road, the Sunshine House, and I'll say the ones that I've done that are local, that are kind of around there. Or if I've done that one, but a different location, I'll say, yeah, I've worked with your Clemson Road location, your, whatever, Augusta Highway location. And I will say, that I've worked with them before. And you can say that too. You can say we. We have been working with you for years. We work because we, as in me and my unit, have. And we've always gotten such a great response. And I just keep talking. I do not pause. I do not stop. You have to be confident. And so then I just say, so basically all I do is I just pick a day, and when it's pickup time, so I usually come between 3 and 6. I set up right out front. I am not inside. I never come inside. And as the mamas come and get their little ones, they get a chocolate and a rose from me, and they can also get a free skincare session if they'd like. I don't hand out samples and I don't hand out business cards. And I tell them that because they don't want you soliciting their people. And then I just say, is there any reason why? That's the best question you can ask. Is there any reason why we couldn't give this a try and see how your mamas like it? And if they're like, well, that sounds good, then okay, great. You're going to walk in knowing when you're available. Or you can take your planner in if you want, but preferably walk in like, okay, how is Thursday? Blah, 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 whatever. So some tips with daycares. Don't do a Friday. Never set it up for a Friday. Friday is the worst day that you can do a daycare. Lots of businesses like dentist offices and doctor's offices close early on Fridays, and those kids are long gone by the time you show up. So Friday's not a good day. Pretty much any other day is good. I do Thursdays because that's just what works in my life right now, but I've done lots of other days of the week. It might be a good Monday thing because they're like hating Monday and now you're here to cheer them up. And so just don't do Friday. So those are my tips there. That is daycares. I've taken enough of your time with that, but just a note here. Clearly, you can't work a 9 to 5 job Monday through Friday and do daycare. So if that's you, you got to cross that off. Like you can't pick that as one of your four. Of course, there's days that you might have off, but if you're only off on holidays, then the parents at the daycare center are too. So that means it's not going to work. So some of these lead generating sources are only going to work with certain schedules, and that's okay. So that is your daycare training. Like I said, you can put questions in the chat, but I'm going to turn it over to Scarlett, and I'm going to mute myself so that she can tell you about facial boxes. Oh, and I can screen share for that too if you want. Just tell me when to, because I can pull it up right quick, just like I did with the. Oh, there we go. All right.
Let me, I'm trying to figure out how to unblur my camera because I don't think you can see it, but
You just have to hold it in front of your chest. Turn it around, hold it in front of your body, and then you can see it. Yep.
just like that. Okay. Facial boxes. Um, all right, so let me see. This is how to get started with it. But Wendy does have like a supply list that allows you to get all the pieces and parts to this. But facial boxes. So what you do is you get your little, box. It can kind of be whatever box you want. Okay, hold on. I got it. Oh gosh, I hit the wrong button. Okay, you are going to get these lead papers, and they say it's hard to see, y'all, and I'm so sorry, but it says "You're beautiful." These are on the Google Drive. Okay, so you're going to print these out. I usually put 10 to 15 on my box. Okay. You also have the little these little rings that you can get on Amazon, and I have recently found these at the Dollar Tree. So that was super exciting. So you'll need that. There are also these pins that you can get on Amazon. You could get a bunch of those for a really good price, and you just stick that on the side of your box. What we have found though is hot glue these onto the box because these pins will go missing. Okay. And I've also heard other tips that you could do is if you don't have these pins, you can be creative. You could just stick a pin in here. Don't make it hard. Just kind of do with what you have and go ahead and put your boxes out. You can also tie cute little string onto your pin and then have it in here so it's still attached to your box. Okay. You're also going to take there are several designs on Google, the Google Drive. And so we chose this one, but it just says enter to receive a free Sparkle skincare session and gift card. And then I've put my QR code on it. One thing that I had failed to do before, which is very important, is you always want to make sure that you have the verbiage drop in a slip or scan the QR code. Okay, because we want to give them the option. So that they can, either scan it or do your sheets. Now, you can, with your boxes, depending on what works for you, you can cut a slit right in here. That's for your paper forms. Okay. What I have found is I take the two little tabs off the top here, and it gives you a wide enough space that you could just slip the form in there as well. Okay. Now, I do believe the number is 10. You want to have at least minimum 10 boxes out. Okay. And so there's a couple of things that you could say when you go in. One of the things I do most frequently is I'll go, hey, do you allow small businesses to place boxes like this in your establishment? Most of the time they say yes. But sometimes you'll be like, well, what is it? You just say, look, this is, I'm out empowering women, and this offers ladies free skincare sessions. You can have this for your customers and your staff. And usually they'll say, okay, yeah, that sounds good. There's times where I've had to leave a box for a month and they say, just come back and get it. So just whatever works. So if they start to say, well, just play off of whatever their, no might be, or hesitancy, So I play off of that. Oh, one thing I forgot to show you. You can put cute little roses on there too. So you hot glue those on there. So it makes it cute and makes it stand out. And so that's the gist of facial boxes. But go and checking them. I haven't been the best on checking boxes, But really, you want to, I would say once a week, honestly. Go check it. That way you're going in and out of that establishment. They get to know you, then they'll start saying, "Hey, did y'all sign up for this free skincare session?" So, once a week. But if you see that a box is not getting a whole lot of movement, I would say to leave it there. And the reason is, and Wendy's got a story, and I believe it might have been Tracy, but you might get that one lead to get you an offspring sales director. Okay, so always leave it in there. Okay, I think that's all I got, Wendy, unless I missed something.
No, you didn't miss anything, but I do have that story. Okay. So I had a facial box in a hair salon, like a hair place. And it was where I went and got my hair cut. So I just, I would check it when I would go get my hair cut, which wasn't super often. But y'all, that box sat in there for 3 years. Okay. 3 years. I had this facial box in this hair salon and nobody put their name in it. And I could not understand. And the slips were still on it. Like, it wasn't even like kids ripped them off. It was literally just, I did swap it out because it would get dusty, but 3 years, y'all. And I'm like, what the heck? But I was taught that if you have a box that's underperforming, instead of moving it, you add one somewhere else too. So I just kept putting facial boxes out, and actually I earned a few cars out of facial boxes, so they're great. But one person finally put their name in my little facial box. One, and I booked her. And she was like, I'm going to invite my sister. So I go into this facial. I took a consultant with me for training. And it was Tracy's sister. So Tracy was the guest. And it was a double facial where they both bought some stuff, but they fell in love with the products. Tracy joined. She came in as a star. She told me she will never do parties in her life. Don't even talk to her about it. And then the rest is history. So yes, I love facial boxes. Love. I have a really hard time picking just 5 sources of leads. So, if you really like a lot of them, do it. Just don't overdo it. Okay, thank you, Scarlett, for sharing. Okay, I'll take you off of here. And then, all
Hey,
right,
Mandy, I have a question about the
facial
boxes.
boxes?
hmm
Yeah.
Do you leave your name and phone number on them somewhere?
Some people will tape a business card to the bottom or
Okay.
something. I just tell the businesses, honestly, I'm like, if it can't stay, just stick it behind the counter. Typically, if it can't stay, they throw it away.
Right.
It's just like,
Okay.
honestly, I don't.
Okay.
In my opinion, they're disposable. That's why the link I shared, the Facebook link that goes straight to the post about facial boxes, and it has links in the comments because for some reason Facebook doesn't like posting links anymore. So it has links in the comments of all the supplies, like the boxes themselves. So the pins, I love. I used to attach my own pins to the facial boxes. It is not cute. I'm just gonna be honest. When we found those counter pins, so much better. Um, but you got to do what you got to do. And when I started, like that box from forever ago, probably I attached it with fishing line because that's what I attached pins to my boxes with back in the day before I had fancy pins. So anyway, don't overthink it. But you do want it to be cute. Don't recreate the wheel. Like, don't feel like you need to put your own spin on it. Your box can look exactly like mine because mine looks exactly like someone else's who's a top director. So I'm not saying that my way's right, but why would you change it if you know it works? And I've had, sometimes people like implement these things and they'll be like, it's not working. And I'm like, okay, well, what exactly did you say? Or send me a picture. And I've seen some crazy facial boxes. I'm just saying. Just because you think it's cute does not mean it's cute. But also, who are we attracting here? Because I've seen like super glittery, and y'all know I like glitter, but like super glittery, and there's like butterflies stuck to it, and like ribbon, like curly ribbon coming all out of it. And I'm like, that's going to work if you're trying to attract my 6-year-old. So, but so just keep it simple, sweetie. And that applies to everything. Okay, so next I'm going to talk about, oh, I feel like some of these can be combined. All right, so I'm going to talk about restaurant and store promotions. This is very similar to a daycare, so I should be able to explain it quickly, except you don't have to be available at the same time to set up a restaurant or a store as you would a daycare. And typically, you're going to do them at different times of day. So and you'll hear me say, like, oh, I met it, sometimes it's fun to look at who all's on a Zoom and say, this is where I met this person. This is how I met this person. This is how I met this person, because you'll see that I've always over the years had multiple, like I've done all of these. These are not things that I've heard about. I've done every single thing that I'm talking about or that someone else is talking about tonight. And so restaurant and store promotions were a huge part of me becoming a DIQ. And basically it looks just like a daycare promotion. I have a little now. When I was new, I had like a 6-foot table, and I thought that's what we used for restaurants and stuff. No, no, no. Go to Walmart. It's like $20 for the little black TV tray table, or even if you have those old ones that you get a pack of 4 and that's what you eat food. Okay, that works too. It, it just needs to be a little table. It does not need to be fancy. I do like the black ones at Walmart because they're taller. You don't have to bend over, and yes, but the TV tray tables, those work too. So, a little table, and I go to the restaurant or the store. And this one's a little bit different because there's money involved. So I say, hey, I'm a local business owner. And one of the things and you can skip the Mary Kay part, honestly, if you want to. It's totally up to you. It doesn't matter. They don't care. The daycares, I tell them is Mary Kay, but the restaurants and stores, they don't care. So sometimes I'll say, it depends on how nice the person is when they come out. But I'm a local business owner, and one of the things that I offer is free customer appreciation events. And I keep talking, y'all. Don't pause, just keep talking. So basically, what I do is I just come back, and I have a story for this too, but I just come back and I set up out front for about an hour or two, and I have a little table, and every woman who comes in is going to get a rose and a chocolate. And then they do have the opportunity to get a free skincare session at a later date if they choose. And then I will also purchase a gift card from you that I will draw a winner from after tonight. They can't use it tonight. They're going to have to come back to use it. So it creates more brand awareness for you as I'm saying your business name to them multiple times, especially as I contact the winners. But also, we just get a really good feedback from doing these. So, again, is there any reason why we couldn't give this a try and see how it goes? And that's it. You're just asking. They're either going to say yes or no. I mean, it's pretty simple. And these I have done at lots of places. So I don't want you to assume that anyone will say no, because I know you think, oh, let me go ask the mom and pops. Well, they're not going to be busy enough to stand out front of for an hour, and unless it's a Tractor Supply, I've done that. I've done Tractor Supply. I've done Chili's. I've done Chick-fil-A. I've done Panera Bread. I've done Ann Taylor Loft, like the loft stores, White House Black Market, Talbot's. So think of, we've done Kate Spade and Kendra Scott. So think about, where are your target market? Are we going to go stand outside of McDonald's for an hour? No, we're not. Okay, yeah. Now, some of your target market's at McDonald's, but that's not where we're going. We're going to the places that people who have disposable income are going. So I've done Buffalo Wild Wings. I've done Wild Wing Cafe. I don't even know if half of those places exist anymore. I've done Qdoba. I've done that's like Chipotle basically. So I've done Red Bull. I mean, I can name so many places, even just like local in Sand Hills, that I've done. And so it looks very similar to the the daycare. It's just at a restaurant. Oh yeah. El Jimador, they were like, you can come whenever you want. Grill Marks downtown, same. I actually have places already that have pretty much said you can come whenever you want. It's just somebody's got to go do it. So you have to be strategic with this too, where if it is a Mexican restaurant, for example, you want to find out when they have cheap margaritas or cheap tacos, and that's when you go. If it's a like when I did Loft, they have a friends and family sale every like 2 or 3 times a year, and I would go for that. So it's a time where it's busy. So some restaurants, they're like, oh, well, because I'll be like, oh, how's Friday night? And they're like, well, that's busy. Well, yeah, so I'll be able to hand out more roses. I will be outside. I'm not going to be in the way. I'm not competing with your hostess. Like, I let them know I'm going to be outside. So, and I tell them too, I don't hand out any business cards or anything like that. And then that's it. So that's restaurants and stores. So we're checking that off the list. So next, I'm going to try to go through these as fast as I can. So next, we're going to hear from Melissa. And this is fun because Melissa just learned what she's training on today. And apparently it was really fun and she liked it. And I'm so excited because it went really well. So she's going to talk to you about working women appreciation and how incredibly simple. And I will say, if you need leads fast, this is literally the fastest way to get leads. So, all right.
Okay. So we start by getting a basket, and then we add the wooden roses. And then I've put like a little bowl in here of some candy and little frilly things. And we walk in and tell them we're there for Women's Appreciation, and we want to give them a wooden rose and some chocolate. And the best part is the free skincare session. And we hand them the little clipboard with the little sign-in thing there and a pen, and they just do it. I was just so amazed today that they just did it. They just said, okay, fun, and started writing their name. And something I was like, wow, that is just awesome. And I think it makes them feel really appreciated. You could tell it on their face that they were just really, really appreciated. I mean, appreciative of it. It was an amazing, amazing experience for me. It was just blowed my mind. Um, and then Scarlett said, these little things are on the Google Drive as well. And then you can order the roses. I don't remember the name of the site, but I got them through Wendy. I think that's it. Did I miss something?
Okay, sorry. It takes me a minute to get myself back on the screen and then unmuted. So about the roses, clearly you hear me say roses for most of the things that we're doing.
Right.
These roses come in a case of 800. So what we typically do is 2 or 4 people can go in on them, half or a quarter. So you can get 4 or 200 roses, and then you can get the whole case for sure. It's like $160 for the whole case. So they're
Right.
pretty cheap. Because if you go buy real roses like I used to do, oh, they're so expensive until I learned about these wooden roses. And don't go on Amazon, trust me, they're not cheaper on Amazon. We get them straight from China, maybe, I don't know, but they come fast. So and they're beautiful.
Yes, and one
And
other thing we
people
did was,
love them.
yes, we sprayed them with some perfume too. With
Yes,
some of
and
our
then you can
perfume
spray
that
them with
helped.
perfume, and everybody's like, "Ooh!" And so, yeah, it's
Mhm.
great. I mean, it is so simple. It doesn't really need much more explanation than that because it's incredibly simple. I will give you a couple of tips. It is definitely good to go with somebody. Now, I have done this
Yes.
alone. It's awkward, but I've done it alone because y'all, if you have goals and you're waiting on someone to work with you, then you don't really have goals. So I do say go alone if you have to. Like if nobody can go with you, just go do it. But there is more energy and it's more fun. Like 3 of us were, rotating. So like 2 people would go and like we just were driving around to all the different places.
Right.
Be excited and again have confidence because if you go in there like timid, like some gifts, you know. We're like, hey, especially Scarlett, hey, we brought some treats. Like I usually, whoever I see, I'm like, hey, we brought you treats. And then they're like, then they're curious. They're like, what? And so then we approach them and they grab stuff out the basket and it is what it is. So my tips are, we've done working women appreciation anywhere that women work, like literally anywhere. Retail stores, restaurants, banks, doctor's offices. We've done entire hospitals. I mean, literally, you could get in the car right now and just start driving, and we don't decide where we're going. We just decide what road we're going to typically. So that's what we did today. We had a road and we drove down it, and we got over 30 leads in like, I say 2 hours, but really with the in between, because we also set up 2 daycares and we went and visited my mom. So really, it was less than, way less than 2 hours. Um, so that was over 30 leads in a short amount of time, and they're excited. And every single one of the ones that we got today were from a bank or a dentist office. So their target market, their quality, you know, they have a job. And again, when you're intentional and you go to places like banks and dentist offices, they close at 5 o'clock, which means you could probably book them for a Friday night or a Saturday. So it's still strategic, strategic in that you can kind of control like when they might be available. If you go to banks, you know they're not. Some banks are open on Saturday, but for the most part, they're not working on Saturday. So that's another reason why I like doing offices. But we do retail stores and different places like that too. So thank you, Melissa. Was it fun?
It was awesome. I had a great time. I really did. I
And
really
God
did.
went into every single business
Yes.
before us because we did not have a single awkward person, we didn't have a no. Today,
Mm-mm.
this entire day, everything we did was like
Mhm.
the craziest thing. So awesome. Thank you
So
for sharing.
I
Okay.
do have one other tip for working women, and that's just whenever you go into the establishment, ask for the manager. You could
Oh,
say to
yeah,
like the people, "Hey, how are you doing? I'm here. We're doing working women's with chocolates and roses. May I speak to your manager so we can hand these out?" Something like that.
that's right.
Yeah, if it's a bank or like an office. Now, if it's a retail store, I don't. I just, whoever I see, I just start
Mm.
handing them out. But if it's like especially a bank, because they're like, what are you
Yeah,
doing with my
they are.
tellers?
Yeah,
Like, yeah. Then
yeah,
you can kind of tell when you walk in, especially a bank.
yeah.
You can kind
That's
of
what I
Hmm.
was saying. You
Hmm.
can kind of tell. You get the vibe, and then you kind of know
Right.
where to go. Yeah.
And
That's
we
right.
just make that the first person we talk to. We're not like, hey, is it okay? We're just like, hey, we're here with treats for the ladies. We're doing Working Women Appreciation. I just didn't want you to look and be like, who is this random person? So again, like keep it simple and just be super laid back. Now, I'm awkward. I have grown a lot. I used to be way more awkward. It was terrible. But I did this and I would go to a bank and get like one lead every 3 banks because I was by myself and I was awkward. But now you just go in with excitement and confidence. Y'all, it
Yeah.
works. It
Yeah,
works.
because I went in one of them and just froze like a deer in headlights in mid-sentence. And if Scarlett had not have been there, that would have been a goner right there.
To work with somebody,
Yes.
especially somebody that's done it before.
Right.
Okay. I love it. All right, so now, really quickly, I'm going to talk about window clings. I don't really want to explain it much. Window clings are like a facial box backup. So if you go into a place and you can't put a facial box out, it's helpful to have a window cling. If anybody has a window cling that you can just show on screen, grab it. Mine are always in the car, so I don't have one on me right now. But a window cling is literally what it sounds like. It's a 4 inch by 4 inch square. It's a static cling. It is not a sticker. This is important. You can't go around sticking stickers to people's stuff. So here, let me add Scarlett right quick. So it is a stick or a it's a window cling. It's a static cling. And so it can be stuck to mirrors, glass, mirrors and glass pretty much. Um, so think if you go into a business and you're asking about the facial box and they're like, oh, we don't have room for it, then having these window clings, you're like, hey, well, I do have this. We can still offer your customers and your staff a free skincare session. I can just put this on the mirror in the ladies' restroom, and it's a static cling. It is not a sticker. And so that's a great backup. The other thing that this is really good for is like hair salons. I wonder if the hair salon that I had a box at for 3 years, if I had had this on the mirror where my person actually cut her people's hair, how that would have turned out, especially if she was like, oh, hey, my friend does free skincare sessions, scan it, and you offer them an incentive. So think like hair places. Because they're just staring in a mirror. Also, fitting rooms. Apparently, they don't clean those. So the window clings are just, it's like, think of it like a digital facial box. But facial boxes are still my favorite because our facial boxes do have QR codes on them too. And we can guide you how to work the Canva and all that. But anyway, so that's all I have to say about window clings. So next, we are going to hear from Camila, I am assuming, to talk about warm chattering, which I will tell you, as a new consultant, this sounded like the literal worst thing ever. Like, I would rather die than warm chatter. But Gloria Mayfield Banks, if you don't know her yet, you will eventually. She always said, she had this zip code, and the first number of her zip code was 5. 5 new leads per day. And for her, it was all warm chatter. And even Kristen Sharp, her number one suggestion for lead generating is warm chattering. So Camila's going to explain what that is and how fun it is.
All right, so first off, I'm just gonna say, let's keep it real. Like all of us, we have our busy schedule. We work different times. We got life going on. We got kids. We got husbands. We got all these type things going on. But one thing that we all have in common is just fitting it in where you can. So this is just another added tool for you to meet people and fit it into what you're already doing. So again, you already know I work full time. You know, when I get off, I'm running to go get the kids. I'm doing all these things, so I'm always moving. So basically, I warm chatter wherever I am, stores, gas stations. Like we all do these things on a normal basis. So that is another way for me to meet people just by asking a question. So I don't know if it's just the military in me. I always read a room. When I go into stores, I'm always looking to see who's at the cash register. I ain't gonna lie. If it's a man, I'd be like, okay, whatever. Unless he's cute or whatever. And then I'd be like, let me go over here and strike up a conversation. No, I'm just joking. But for the most part, if it's a woman, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna try to get her name and number when I get to the register. And so, but I'm kind of checking for the vibe prior to me even getting there. If it's busy, I don't really try to get her name and number. If it's, she got a lot going on and she's the only one there. If I don't get her number, I'm definitely got a goodie bag. I always keep these on me. I keep them in my purse. Um, or if I'm not carrying a purse, because y'all already know I'm a tomboy at heart. So when I'm not in my Mary Kay attire, sometimes I'm not carrying a purse. But I still try to grab a few of these, and whether I stick it in my pocket or if I have some kind of bag or whatever on me, I'm grabbing them. So this is my backup if I don't have time to talk to her. Um, I'll still finish my transaction and then I'll be like, okay, hey, this is for you. Or has anybody, ask a question. Has anybody giving you a gift today or whatever, however you want to say it, I give her this. But if I have time to strike up a conversation, I always start off by asking a question. And my go-to is, hey, are you into skincare? Because let's face it, we see skincare. Everybody's talking about skincare. So that is my go-to question. And most women, they light up. And it's like, yeah. And that's my cue to go in for the kill. So just strike up that conversation. And I was like, I would love to offer you a free skincare session. Can I get your name and number? And most of the time she was like, yeah. She either write it down or I'd be like, pull out my phone, boom, boom, boom. I still hit her with the gift, the goodie bag or whatever, but I at least left there with her name and number. So that is the objective, to get the name and number. But if you can't, my contact information is in here, along with I have the little facial box. I have them mini size that will fit inside of a goodie bag like this. So that's another option to get people to scan your Google Doc form. That's another added incentive. So when you don't have a entry in your Google Doc form, that's another way for you to get it, because if I don't have her number, she's most likely gonna scan that QR code, because it basically says the same thing, to enter it in a free skincare session if I didn't get her name and number. But again, it doesn't have to be complicated. It's as simple, just meet people where they are. Even if you're just in a grocery store, you're always around women. Sometimes there's women who stock in the shelves in the grocery store. I will stop. Now, of course, the conversation will be different because I know they're busy, and I'll be like, hey, I know you're busy, but I would love to give this to you. And then, of course, you're like, oh, thank you, yada, yada, yada. You know the drill. But at the same time, again, just take advantage of the people that's already in your space. So that's basically it. Is there something else you wanted me to say, Wendy?
No, that's great. We're just out getting names and numbers. That's the main thing. Everywhere you go, really, like everywhere you go. And I do have one thing. It's not an add-on or a forgotten. It's like kind of, I can talk about it really quickly because it is related to this. But I do have a guest coming on Saturday who I met. She was our waitress at a burger place on Sunday, and she was just so pretty and so sweet, and I loved her personality. So at the end, I was like, oh my gosh, have you ever heard of Mary Kay? She was like, I've heard of it. My grandma sold it when I was younger. And I was like, I'd love to invite you to a skincare session, makeover, and you're going to be entered to win $5,000. She was just so excited. And she's like, she is on it. She's like, what can I do? What do I need to bring? So she is super excited. And that's from a warm chatter. So next I'm going to, let me do this. I'm going to have Kelly talk about vendor events really quick, but I want to show you something super quick. And if you haven't like really like dived into our Google Drive, wait, what happened? Camila, are you still talking? I mean, you are, but I don't know if you're trying to talk to us or you're breaking up. Okay. I'm going to mute her because I don't know if she's trying to talk to us or not. So I'm going to screen share really quickly. This is probably for a lot of you a new idea, but it's actually not. It's a very old idea. This is in our Google Drive. It's called the lookbook approach. So the lookbook approach is, it's like a challenge to hand out lookbooks everywhere you go. So lookbooks cost us $5 for 10. So they're 50 cents each. And they're fabulous. They have on-trend looks. They have all of our products. They have a little bit about the business opportunity. It's like a full circle, like tool that you can warm chatter with. And so your challenge is to hand out as many as you can, as fast as you can. So this is just like a little sheet, like a little tracking sheet, like handing out 10 lookbooks. So basically, anytime any money exchanges your hands or you swipe a card for any reason. So if you pay somebody for something, whether it's at a grocery store, Starbucks, Chick-fil-A, like doesn't matter. You're paying your light bill, you're at the bank, it don't matter. Anytime you are doing a transaction, just say, oh, by the way, this is for you. Just like Camila said, like, hey, this is for you. So if you don't have goodie bags like lookbooks, this is another option. And all you're saying is, oh, by the way, this is for you. And you just hand it to them. And so out of 25, about 15 to 18 will respond, thank you, or what is this? And it's a great opportunity just to like talk to her and offer a facial and get her number. her name and number. 2 to 3 will simply respond thanks and put the book aside, so you just smile and walk away. I mean, you have your information on the back of the book, so it's not like it's all is lost. And you can even print your own labels to put on the back of the book with a QR code offering them a free skincare session. Um, and then 2 to 4 will respond with, I have been looking for a Mary Kay consultant. I need blank, 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 and we'll buy stuff from you on the spot. So this is just a twist on warm chattering. You can find this in the Google Drive and read it more. It's very simple. It's just handing out lookbooks. So anyway, I just wanted to add that on to what Camila was sharing. And now I'm going to turn it over to Miss Kelly, and she's going to tell you about vendor events. And then I'll use any time that we have left to talk about. I have a couple other things that I can mention that'll be quick.
Hey, so we're talking about, can you hear me? Because I only see me. Can you hear me, girl? Okay, anyway, talking about vendor events, there's several types that you can do. There's a lot of types you can do, but just some that I've done. Churches, I've done a couple of churches. They have craft fairs, holiday market, yard sales. You got farmers markets. I did the Camden Farmers Market. And then you can look on Facebook events. They talk about festivals and events that you can go to. They're all over the place, like the Peach Festival, the Okra Strut, the Crayfish Festival, whatever that is. They're all over the place. So just look for that. You can use Eventbrite or Google Events. So what you're going to do is you're going to contact the coordinator of the event, wherever it is, and see if there's another Mary Kay consultant there, because there can only be one. And you're going to want to ask some other questions like the expected turnout. How many people do they expect to come? Also, how much is the fee? If there's a fee, and there's usually a fee for vendors. And some places like churches, craft fairs, and other places want you to, along with the vendor fee, bring a product for their auction. So be aware of that. Like the churches I've been to, they required a product, and it was like $25. So I took a charcoal mask. So that's a famous thing. So you can also, when you go to the events while you're there, if you're not alone, you can walk around and talk to some of the vendors around you, and you make friends with them, or just go back and forth. They'll tell you when the best time to come to, if it's an ongoing event, when the best time to come is, where good events are that, they get the most for their time. So you can look into that. Don't overthink this, y'all. I'm an overthinker, and I did for a long time, but the last one, I was like, keep it simple. And I'm not going to use that word. Keep it stupid simple. Say it backwards. All right, so you're going to want a table. Ask them, do they provide the table, or if you need to bring one. And if it's hot outside or think it might rain, if it's outside, you'll need some kind of tent cover, so you're protected under there. On your table, you're going to want to decorate it. I'm not a decorator. I'm not fancy. So a pretty tablecloth, put some products out, put some sparkly stuff on there. That's all it needs. Guess how many? Just give jar. Last time I put jelly beans in them, the different colored jelly beans, and They fill out the guess how many form. Um, oh, oh, did I miss anything? Just don't overthink it, y'all. Look at Camila. Have fun. Be excited about what you're doing. We cannot sell products there. This is important. You can show the products on the table. You can take a lotion to sample or whatever it is, but we can't sell the products there, but we can take orders. So keep that in mind. Wendy, did I miss anything else?
I don't think so. That was great. I was just I was just sharing, just screen sharing that
Yeah, that
beach
was
festival that we did
great.
recently. And one of the things that you might have caught on the picture, we even set up a satin hand station. It was really cool. So here's another, I will tell you, this is a tip. The thing that will bring people to your table more than anything is this right here. Is perfumes and colognes. So having one of every fragrance, if you go do vendor events to demo, will bring people to your table. Thank you, Camila. So we
Oh,
have
I have
learned
one
that.
more thing that I meant to say because I thought you'd say it. Do not stand behind your table.
Oh
Get
yeah.
out in front of the table and talk to the people as they're
And what you're
walking
going to
by.
say is, hey, have you entered my Guess How Many giveaway yet? It doesn't matter if you know they haven't or not. It's just ask them. So you want the right answer to be no, because we tend to just like say no quickly. So if you're like, would you like to enter to win? No, because first of all, it's not enter to win. But have you entered my Guess How Many giveaway already? And then if they're like, no, you're like, great. And then you hand them the clipboard and just, yep. So awesome. Okay. Thank you, Kelly. All right, so Scarlett was supposed to be talking about referrals, but I just maybe she can talk to you for 30 seconds, because we don't need to teach you how to get referrals. We just need to say something about them, and so yes. Anyway, she can tell you really quickly.
Okay, so follow your book at the parties. It's going to tell you how to do everything, but you play a referral game, and so basically you're just asking your guest, are there any ladies that you think might enjoy a skincare session? Boom, you're going to get those referrals, and then you're going to work them like you would any lead. So you're just going to follow up and say, hey, so and so had a skincare session with me and she recommended you or she nominated you and for your free skincare session. And there you go.
Yes, and what I want to add is that referrals are literally always going to be one of your sources of leads. So you can pick any other four that you want. I don't care what they are. Pick four, but referrals are number one. The only thing about referrals is, guess what? You can't get them if you don't have other leads. So you got to do the parties, but there should always be referrals coming into your business. You can leave a party easily with 50 new names and numbers. And there's a connection there because you're like, hey, so ask on the paper, what's your relationship with this person? So it's like, hey, your sister nominated you for a free skincare session, a gift card. And y'all, the booking and coaching playbook will tell you exactly how to book every type of lead. So you don't have to make it up. Please don't make it up, actually. Don't make it up. Use the booking and coaching playbook. It has it has scripts for every source, whether it's facial boxes. A lot of them are going to be the same. The booking from promos, that would be facial boxes, vendor events, restaurants, stores, daycares. That's all kind of the same. And then there's referral script. So the referral script's really good and it works. And so the only other thing on my list is Temptation Basket, which is just carrying a basket of products around everywhere you go. You will attract people to you and end up with new customers. I guarantee if you carry a basket around literally everywhere you go, it's your baby. You can't leave it in the car. You can't leave it at home. You take it everywhere, that you will absolutely find new customers. And I have sold thousands and thousands of dollars out of my temptation basket. I might not have booked a ton of facials because of my temptation basket, but I've gotten lots of customers this way. But I do still get their information. It's a really good way to attract customers. And then the very last one, and I gotta hop on this party because I have a guest, hopefully that's on, is networking. So networking is a very specific, it's not even lead generating. Networking is not the same as lead generating, but you're generating leads. You're meeting people, you're making connections. And when you network, and I'm talking networking events like Chamber of Commerce events, BNI groups, there's so many different types of networking events. Most of them are not going to be free. But they are business professionals that are showing up to meet other professionals. And I don't really have time to train on how to network right now. I just started doing it probably like a year. I don't know. It's not been long, maybe a year and a half. But Thoraya came from networking. Actually, lots of our people came from networking. So I'm just gonna switch to gallery view right quick so I can look at everybody. So I'm gonna go in order on my screen. Melissa came from. Actually, I don't know where she came. Look, there's Thoraya. Hello.
Tracy.
So Melissa came from Tracy, who came from a facial box. But Melissa, how did Tracy meet you? Did you come from a facial box too?
My daughter scanned one of Tracy's clings at a salon, a hair salon.
Melissa came from a window cling? I
Mm-hmm.
didn't even know we had someone from a window cling. How fun is
Mm-hmm.
that? Actually, that's a lie. I've actually recruited a lot of people from window clings. That's a lie. Okay. So Melissa came from Clings. Okay, and then next is Kelly Hunter on my screen, and she came from Kelly, old Kelly, new Kelly, but um, but Kelly and Kelly actually know each other. So one thing that I didn't talk about that I do not want you to neglect is your circle, your warm circle. If there is anybody in your phone or on your Facebook that you would be upset if you signed on to Facebook and you saw them post that they joined Mary Kay or a different direct selling company and you have not attempted to book or share with them, you need to do it. Anybody. I don't care if it's someone you haven't spoke with in 10 years. If you would be even a little bit upset that you see them post that they're a new Mary Kay consultant or a new Tupperware consultant or whatever, then you need to book them or attempt to book. At least know that you did your job. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. They belong with someone else. But you would be upset if you saw them with someone else. And this has happened to me a lot. So Kelly and Kelly know each other. So that's like that's your circle. Kelly, old Kelly. So I actually technically met her at a daycare, but not in the way that you would think. So it is in the way you would think because I was literally there doing the Mama's Appreciation, and she was walking out of work, but we ended up connecting a whole totally different way. And she came and did childcare for our church, and then she was my baby's teacher, and she's still working with my baby. Where is my baby? It's just me and Olivia at the house. I don't even know where she is. Hold on a second. Oh, I heard her. Okay. Anyway, so y'all, she's been quiet. So anyway, I met Kelly at a daycare. Scarlett. So Scarlett is a descendant from a personal team member of mine, and the way that I met her was I go to the chiropractor office and the lady that works the desk, I'm friends with her on Facebook. Just making connections everywhere you go is so beneficial, y'all. So it's kind of like warm chattering, but you're just making genuine connections with people. So I'm friends with her on Facebook. So of course she sees Mary Kay all the time. One day she reaches out to me and she's like, "Hey, I need sunscreen. My dermatologist said I need sunscreen for my face." You know what I could have done? I could have been like, "Great, here's our sunscreen. It's 30 whatever dollars," and sold it to her. But instead I said, "Okay, what do you wash your face with?" And she was like, dot, dot, dot. So I was like, "Okay, I have a skincare session Saturday. You're going to come. You're going to try the skincare. I'm going to show you how to use it." And she came, she brought a friend. That friend joined and recruited somebody who recruited Scarlett. Tiffany came from a vendor event. She was a guest, right? A guest.
Can I give Daddy a candy and me a candy?
Is Daddy here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I guess it's not just us. So anyway, just one. So I met Tiffany at a vendor event, a huge vendor event. Camila, I met at a daycare. Katie, no, I didn't meet her at a vendor event. I met her because of a huge vendor event. Sorry. Katie also, I am pretty certain came from that same vendor event. Maybe not the same year because I tried to recruit Katie for like 10 years. But vendor event. Megan, I know from church. So I met her at church. Nisha. Anisha's gonna have to tell you where she originally came from because I don't remember. Oh, yes, I do. I think. Maybe Facebook.
No.
No, you're not. You weren't
You
from the social
you
girls group.
really don't remember?
Girl, no.
I was a facial box.
You were from a facial box?
Yep.
Where'd you put your name in a box at? Well, anyway, it doesn't facial
What's
box.
that seafood restaurant over here?
Was it Yummy Crab?
No, it was in Sand Hills.
Oh, Bluefin.
Bluefin. Yep.
And you know what's funny about Bluefin is I check that box religiously and nobody ever puts their name in it. It's like one of my least dropped in boxes, but Nisha came from there. Okay. Yeah. How did I?
I think it was like you called me about 3 months after I put my name in there.
Stop. Don't tell people
But
that.
I'm just saying that's an example, like, of why you shouldn't throw it out, or just like give up on it.
Also, you should check your boxes more often than every 3 months, but I love that. I love that. Okay, great. And then Thoraya did come from, she disappeared. Oh, there she is. She turned her camera on. That's why she moved. Okay. She came from networking. So she came from a networking event that I'm actually going to send Nisha to because I know she's going to rock it. And Thoraya, if she's free, she could go with you because she knows exactly what to do. So she came from networking. So anyway, that's where all of these. Oh, and I came from a bridal show. I didn't even talk about bridal shows. They are a fantastic way to get leads too, but they're very expensive. They're very big. They take a lot of time and energy, but they are very, very good. So if you have the opportunity to get into a bridal show, that's another one. So anyway, this has been great. So I'm gonna go see if my guest is on the party. But does anyone have any questions that I could answer in like 2 seconds? All the supplies are in the Google Drive. So if that's the question, all the papers, all the signs, all the things, either on Facebook or the Google Drive. Okay. Awesome. Well, your homework is to text me before the end of the night. I gave you other homework earlier, but text me before the end of the night with your 4. So referrals, you need 5, but referrals plus 4 more lead generating ideas that you want to implement that you are going to have as your steady stream of leads coming into your business at all times. And it might change over the years. Like I don't do all 30 of them all the time or however many we talked about. But pick your 4 that you're going to run with. And it doesn't matter if you know how to do it. It doesn't matter if you're prepared. That doesn't matter. Just pick 4 and text them to me. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I love and appreciate y'all. This has been really good. This has probably been one of the most informative Zooms we've done in a really long time. So I hope it was helpful. Did it help any of y'all? Okay, great. All right, good. Well, y'all have a great rest of your night. And yes, I did. I streamed it to YouTube. We're good. I'll email it out tonight. I'll email it out in just a little bit. But y'all have a great rest of your night, and I will talk to y'all on Thursday because tomorrow I'm not talking to anybody, okay? Because it's Wednesday. All right, love you.